Greetings, comrades! This is Untitled Caleb, and before we continue this HDVR video with Sergei Kilemov, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for helping me reach 200 subscribers. You know, I just hit 200 last week, and now I'm up to 207 last I checked. And I know it's my Mugen videos that y'all come to, but you know, I enjoy doing these VR videos, and this will likely be the last VR video I'll be doing with the Samsung HMD Odyssey Plus here. I should be getting my Oculus Rift S sometime this week. Supposedly today, as of this video, I'm not sure, but hopefully it'll mean better quality VR videos from that point on, or at least smoother gameplay, because these controllers, you know, after nearly a year using them, they suck. The controllers are too bulky, and you know, connection issues. Sometimes you try to turn it on, but it won't register, so you have to keep taking out the batteries and stuff. So, you know, give credit where credit's due. The Samsung, the Odyssey Plus itself, decent headset. The controllers need a lot of work. You know, they really should have taken lessons from Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, and hell, even Valve Index for their motion controllers. So hopefully, future Windows Mixed Reality headsets come with much better controllers, because as these stand, they suck. I'm sorry, they suck. But anyway, that out of the way. Again, thank you all very much for helping reach 200 subscribers. It means a lot to me that you actually come and watch this shit. Granted, it's mostly my Mugen videos, but still, like I said, I enjoy doing these VR videos. That's why I still do them, even though they don't get nearly as many views. But at this point, I don't care about that. I do enjoy making them. If you enjoy watching them, great. If not, then oh well. It won't stop me from making them. But anyway, thank you all for helping me reach 200 subscribers, and now we're going to start this special. I wanted to wait till later in the year to do this, but I figured, let's just do it now. So, enjoy the video.
Absolutely wonderful!
Greetings, comrades, this is Sergei Kilemov, and welcome to another HDVR video, and we're in a different setting now. We're in the warehouse range. I don't recall ever doing a video in this area before. Usually it's the outdoor range or the indoor range. But yeah, you see we've got different barrels here, and crates. You can't destroy the crates, but you can destroy the barrels. Ooh, excuse me. Got a few targets here and there, but I wanted a different setting this time around, and this is sort of a special video for me. So it's been, I can't believe it, it's been nearly 30 years since the release of one of my favorite movies of all time, probably my #1 favorite movie of all time, Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Now, of course, the first Terminator movie was a classic in its own right. You know, the sci-fi, noir, you know, drama, sci-fi bonanza it was a really cool movie for the time, and you know, it helped put Arnold Schwarzenegger on the map. Of course, he didn't make movies before then, but this is the role I most well know him for, Terminator. And of course, the sequel, which came 7 years later, was even better. You know, it's one of the best sequels of all time. Again, probably my favorite movie of all time. But ever since then, the quality movies have been I'm looking at you, Salvation and Genesis. But I wanted to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Terminator 2 by showing off, well, if I can turn around, a few of the more iconic weapons from the movie. As you can see, they're laid out all over here. Now, I know there are several different weapons in here, but in my mind, these are the more iconic weapons. There are a few differences here and there, but I'm sure Brian will explain it as we go. But let's go ahead and get started with, well, I think the one gun, you know, you're all familiar with. The good old Winchester Model 1887. The good old lever action shotgun. And yeah, now, this is how you recognize it in the movie. You got the large the larger lever loop there, and there's a reason for that. For instance, let me show you the actual 1887. So this is the actual shotgun here. You know, you got the standard wood furniture as opposed to the darker wood here, and nice little grip. You notice that the lever loop is much smaller. Well, you notice how in the movie, good old Arnold, you know, flip cocks a weapon like that. You can't do that with this one because, well, you break your fingers off. Look how much space there is. Here, it's a little more manageable. Now, granted, the one of the movies is a little bit bigger than this, but here, it at least makes sense. Okay, so we're going to do a little different with the weapon descriptions. Instead, we'll cut off the little screen and Brian will explain the gun itself. So, is that good for you, Brian?
Sure thing, Sergei. I'm cool with that.
Alright, let's go and get started. The Winchester Model 1887. Go for it.
So as the name suggests, the Model 1887 was made in 1887. It was made as a repeating shotgun for lawmen and cowboys at the time. It was meant to replace the traditional double-barreled shotguns at the time. At the time, Winchester and Browning were working together to build a repeating shotgun, while Browning went for a pump-action design. Later to become the 1897 shotgun, Winchester stuck with the lever-action design that was popular at the time. Instead of 2 shots, the 1887 would fire 5 shots, plus 1 in the chamber. It would continue production until 1920, after producing 60,000 units and a redesign that allowed it to fire smokeless rounds.
There you go. Really nice shotgun, you know, of course 12 gauge, as it were. And naturally you don't have that large of an ammo capacity with a shotgun like this. I believe it's only like 5 shells, 1 in the chamber. So you can, well, I just put 1 in there already, but you can still load them in. Yeah, 5 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, so that's 6. And you know, it's a shotgun, about you'd expect. Now, okay. Now, you can do it like this. But, let's be honest, that's boring. When you have it like this, you gotta do this. See, when you have the shotgun like this, it feels wrong not to do that. Granted, it takes a little practice, and these controls you have to hold up on the touchpad, then do like a backwards rocking motion with your hand to do that. So yeah, that's probably the most iconic weapon. But of course, to me, there are several. Actually, I'll hang on to these for later. Now let's move on to the pistols. I got 2 here. Now, granted, we've seen this several times already, the 1911, but of course the version in the movie is much different. I'll let Brian explain it.
That's right. The pistol that was in the movie is a custom Detonix 1911, using the Scoremaster model with a combat master slide with forward-mounted rear sight and slide extension.
So yeah, we don't have such a version here, so we're sticking with the good old, you know, M1911 A1, because why not? And you know, we've seen this several times, you know, 1911, 45 ACP. What do you expect? I'll have to admit the finish on the gun of that version was a lot cool. I wish we had that one. Maybe in the future. Now for another weapon, good old Beretta M9A1, I believe it is. I was kind of zoning out. I had my mind on something else. But yeah, the M9A1. Now, granted, the T1000 used quite a few different guns in the movie, mostly pistols. Of course, this is the first one he used.
Well, Sergei is using the Beretta M9A1, but the version in the movie is the 92FS. It is the civilian variant of the M9. While we see it a lot in movies and video games since the 90s, this pistol began its life as the Beretta 92 back in 1975. It was only produced until 1981, but during the time, we would see the 92S. This pistol is far closer to modern Berettas with its slide-mounted combined safety and decocking lever. The 92SB would see it with an ambidextrous safety and different safety design. We would later see the 92F, and the rest is history.
And the weird thing, if, you know, keen-eyed gun nuts will know if you watch the movie in any way, shape, or form, you know, when they fired the gun, it sounded like it was suppressed, which it wasn't. But, you know, even the best movies have some hiccups here and there. You can barely see the round chamber there already. But, yeah, the Beretta M9A1. Yeah, there's also another version of this. Actually, there are a few versions of this pistol. We got the M9A3, which is the, see, we got a different finish on it, different grips, but it also got a slightly bigger rail there. There's kind of a rail here, you can put a laser sight on there, but other than that, it's pretty much the same gun. And we also got the, you know, the M93 we showed off during Meetness. And there's also the M9 Cleric, which, if you watch the movie Equilibrium, I can talk today. Yeah, I recognize that gun. But here we got the good old M9A1. Got to put it in the mag. Whatever. And again, does not sound suppressed. It doesn't have a suppressor. Now, I think we'll save the MP5K a little later. I kind of want to do these in a, I guess, chronological order, if you will, as they appeared in the movie. So, I think we'll start with this one here. I've covered this weapon before. Now, technically, the version of the movie is a CAR-15, which... Brian, go ahead.
The rifle that Sarah Connor used in the movie is actually a Colt Sporter II carbine modified to resemble the Model 629. The rifle is modded with a suppressor, laser sight and ACOG scope, as Sergei customized his.
And yes, now... Here I just got the regular, you know, M4A1, but, you know... I made it as close as I could do with what I had in hand, because, you know, you had the other carrying handle sight here in HCVR, but thing is, you can't mount a scope on it. At least I don't think you can, because all the scopes here, to my knowledge, need a Picatinny rail to do so, or at least some special kind of rail depending on what gun it is and what scope or sight it is. So, you know, I'm doing it like this. You know, got the scope here, laser sight about, and of course a suppressor, because as Sarah Connor used it to, you know, attack Dyson later in the movie. Well, this isn't exactly like it, but as close as I can make it. You know, it didn't have a foregrip or anything. And the magazines didn't quite look like that, but whatever. This is how we're doing it. Make sure to actually turn off the laser sight. Might as well have a little fun with this, but of course we're gonna have some more fun in the later guns, as you can probably tell. Man, I never realized how much fun it is to shoot a gun with a suppressor. I don't do it very often, but there you go. So there's that. And now, yeah, you can tell which one we're doing next. Let me just put this here. Actually, let me put one in there, because it's kind of hard to put a new, you know, box in here when you're holding it. But like this, and so when it's on the ground, it's kind of hard. But yeah, watch Predator, watch Terminator 2, watch any action movie in the 80s and 90s, then you already recognize this gun. But I'll let Brian explain it anyway.
Yes. The good old M134 minigun. Up to 6,000 rounds per minute. Firing the 7.62 by 39mm round. It's hard to believe that such a powerful weapon has been around since the 60s, but it's true. Naturally, a handheld minigun is impossible by practical standards, as the weapon itself weighs over 80 pounds, and it requires a power source and ammunition source to even fire. Even with a lightweight mod, it would still be too heavy to wield properly, never mind fire while moving on foot. But has that stopped video game developers and movie makers from incorporating a handheld death machine? Of course not. It's just that damn awesome.
That's right. Good old M134. Just like Jesse Ventura, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Gold FPS Russia. Now, before we do, let's go and reset the targets real quick, so we have a little more fun here. But yeah, as Brian said, this is one beast of a weapon. The rate of fire, the ammo it uses, you know, this is just, you know, a handheld executioner's blade, if you ask me. You know, World War I they had the Devil's Paintbrush, World War II they had Hitler's Buzzsaw, but here, modern day, we had the good old paintless. And yes, you can make the barrels glow. Let's do that again. I've never had this much fun in a VR game. There's no more satisfying feeling in the world than firing a good old minigun. Now, good luck doing that in real life without spending a lot of money. Here you can do it at a fraction of the price. Now, technically this one's next, but I'm actually going to save this for last, and I'll explain why. So now, we move on to the good old MP5K, which some of the police officers used. They also use regular MP5s, but I'm going with this one because, well, this is what the T-1000 used during the helicopter chase scene. Before they head to the, you know, the smelting plant, where the final battle takes place. I'm surprised. Not that much recoil when you fire it one-handed. Now, granted, I am, this is a 9mm cartridge here, so naturally I'm not going to do it that much recoil. I'm just ashamed they didn't do the you know, the HK slap. You know, when you fire guns, you get all kinds of satisfying feelings. That's definitely one of them. Now, I say the 2 more guns, and, again, you know, the actual gun in the movie is different, but I'm going with the Express 870 here because at first I thought when I first saw it many years ago, I thought that was a Spaz 12 that Sarah Connor used, but it's actually Remington 870 with the foldable stock with ammo storage on it. So yeah, Brian?
Yes, Sarah did use an 870. But it is an 870 police combat shotgun with a folding stock, as well as an extended magazine tube and spare shot shell holder on the stock.
Yeah, didn't really do it with the MP5K because, you know, I already did 2 videos of the MP5 family of guns, so no need to repeat that. So yeah. Five in the tube, 1 in the chamber. Now, The way she fired it, I'll admit, was pretty cool. I'm not sure if I can replicate it here, but basically, she fires it, and then she actually pushes the gun like this to rack it, but it doesn't look like I can do that here. I guess I can do it like that, pretend I'm doing it. Just when she thought she had the upper hand, of course she forgot she was fighting the T-1000. Which don't do much against him, but you know what will finish him off? Well, good old Thumper, the M79. Now the Terminator did use this during the minigun scene, but I saved it for last because, well, because this was the gun that dealt the final blow to the T-1000. And yeah, I just had to fire it off, so sorry, Brian.
No worries. Anyway, the M79 has been around since 1961. This break-action 40mm grenade launcher earned its nickname Thumper because of the sound it makes when it fires. While it did see success during the Vietnam War, it would eventually be superseded by the M203 underbarrel launcher. It still saw use due to its accuracy and range.
Quite a satisfying gun, isn't it? Of course, it's break action, so you know, you fire it, open it like that, open it, then swing it forth. Though for this gun, you kind of have to, maybe these are the controllers, but you have to get it the right angle for it to actually, you know, takes a little practice, but it can be done. And yeah, that, comrades, is the Terminator 2 special for HDVR. Again, Terminator 2, one of my favorite movies of all time. Lots of cool weapons, and of course, finally got the chance to fire off this bad boy. And try out this different format, explaining the guns. Again, we cut off to a scene. Brian talks about the guns, and I come back and shoot the guns. I think that's a little, sort of easier on the eyes, but, yeah. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you look for the next one. And again, thank you for helping this channel reach 200 subscribers. Here's to 300, and no, I'm not doing a Sparta reference here. Instead... Hasta la vista, baby.
Atoms fall apart. Solar flares arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive.